Welcome to episode 7. This is the 7th installment we've got of the live stream. So happy to have my good friend, Mr. Edward Callahan, here playing some solo piano. How you doing, Edward?
Hey, doing pretty good. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me. Hi, everybody. I hope you enjoy this.
Yes, this is gonna be a lot of fun. So let me make sure that everything looks great. Yeah. So it's with all the guests, it's funny we go so far back. Eddie and I, we actually met. We were playing the Wiz, right? That's how we we met during it was like the 40th anniversary show of the Wiz. They had all the original cast. It was actually pretty crazy, like
It was.
like how many people were there. It was like celebrities, everything, and so we were
Yes.
playing in the pit band for that show. That's how we met, and we've been in touch ever since. But as always, I like to kind of know a little bit about what was going on with you before our paths crossed. Because by the time we met, you were already here and doing your thing. So tell us a little bit about where you're from, how you got into music and all that.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Nice.
So
Midwest.
It's Midwest. It's literally right in between Chicago and Detroit. It's like 2 hours from both. So we actually kind of get a mix of both. It's kind of like a mini Chicago and Detroit. So you can
Yes.
just imagine. But that's where I was at. I went to college at Western Michigan University.
Nice.
I was there for a few years, and then I actually moved to New York to work for my mentor, Damian Sneed.
Very
so
nice.
that's how we met with the Wiz because he was the musical director. But before that, I was in Kalamazoo just aspiring to do music. You know how it is. Like there was nobody else really doing classical. There was nobody really doing solo piano.
Yeah.
Where I was. So I was kind of alone for a while, just trying to figure out if this was a possibility. How's this going to happen? So eventually, I moved here, and things just started to take off.
Yeah. So that's actually interesting that you say that. You were saying you felt kind of alone in the sense that you felt like you were the only person sort of doing that. Can you elaborate on what made you feel like this? I'm going to keep doing this anyway, even though you felt like you didn't have a community around you supporting you. Why did you decide I'm going to keep going?
Yeah, that's a good question. Music was, I wrote a paper on how music affects your emotions and how, it can really change your day, change your life. And practicing just really put me in a different space. As a young kid, I was able to just go from outside of what I saw into just a magical world.
Very true.
And I was able to just kind of be in my own zone. And there were also some programs like the Gilmore Keyboard Festival. There were certain things that I looked forward to every year, where we would meet these big pianists and meet all of these, amazing people. So that was kind of the way to just keep me going. But I told myself, and as a young kid, I always liked to dress. I always liked to, in my piano lessons, I would pretend to bow in front of the crowd. And,
Yeah.
I just loved everything about, being an aspiring concert pianist. That's just what kept me going.
That's wonderful. And it's great that you mentioned that. Some programs, helped you. Meeting certain people helped you because I feel the same way. Like I know that if it weren't for me crossing paths with certain people in my development, I would not be the musician that I am today. In fact, I probably wouldn't even be a musician at all. I'd still be in Chicago doing,
Who knows what?
we're exactly whatever
Exactly.
it is we're doing there.
Yep.
So that's great to hear about that. So you came to New York, and what have you been doing here ever since? So you said things sort of took off. So talk about that.
Yeah, so when I first got here, I was working as an assistant for my mentor, Damian Sneed. So
Right.
I left school. I was 3 years into Western.
Yeah.
I loved Western. I was in the marching band, the pep band. I was the MD for the gospel choir. I loved it, but when I got the chance, this was when Facebook was really just starting, and I would send messages to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, LeBron James, Nicki Minaj, whoever it is, I'm sending them a message. So I sent Damian Sneed a message, said, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
I love it. You're playing with the Clark sisters and this,
Yeah.
that. He's
Yeah.
like, wow, thanks. You should come up to New York sometime.
Yes.
And boom, I started working for him.
That's amazing.
So that's how that started, and then I was able to just really see hands-on. One day we would be at the AIM convention, the Koja convention. One day we'd be at the Jazz at Lincoln Center. One day we'd be in Wynton Marsalis's apartment. And I'm just like, what am I doing
It's a
here?
whirlwind, yeah.
So, he also accompanied Jesse Norman. So I just saw all these different aspects, and it, motivated me to continue to play different styles of music because,
Yes.
some people can easily kind of get locked in or be comfortable with one. But he really told me to just continue to do that. So I got here, I was working for him, and then I was like, you know what, I want to play at a church. So he actually got me a job at his old church that he used to play at in the Bronx when there was no musician at the time.
I see.
So I did that, and then, I just started doing the New York hustle. I was a personal trainer.
Yeah.
I was teaching music in an after-school program.
Yes.
I was just finding my way. And then, once we kind of hit with the whiz, that's when I went back to school. And that's when I started finishing and, just going from there.
Okay, wonderful. That's an amazing story because I know as a kid coming from the Midwest, I know coming to New York City from that environment it's like a whirlwind. It's just like it's like you enter an entirely different world.
It's crazy.
Fortunately for me, I had some family here when I was a little kid. So I had come here before and visited them a few times, just to hang out, and so I wasn't totally shell shocked when I got here, but it was I know the feeling all too well.
Yeah.
And this guy Damian Sneed, that he's a mutual friend of ours, fantastic musician, pianist, composer, conductor. He really kind of embodies something that I'm always preaching about. I mean, you even just said it. Playing different styles of music, like not just pigeonholing yourself into one sort of thing. And branching out. So I'm glad to see that you're doing that you've been doing that, and that's really awesome. So one thing I know that you said that you were really passionate about, you were saying that your experience being a black male classical pianist, I mean, like it's kind of lonely in a lot of ways. So talk to me a little bit about that, because I know that's something that you feel very passionately about. So tell me a little bit about what's on your mind.
Yeah, so, from an early age when I first started lessons, my very first teacher, she really pushed, improv, doing compositions. I used to win a lot of composition competitions and things like that at a young age. And she really, she pushed me so far ahead by the time I was in ninth grade, I was ready for my college auditions. Because my stepdad actually took me out of my piano lessons in high school because he didn't think I was really serious enough.
Yeah.
And I was, but when you understand, sometimes you're not gonna practice every day. Sometimes you're not gonna. It's just a certain thing, So
of course.
No one really understood that, but I was very serious about it. So anyways, I ended up playing the ninth grade pieces for my college audition.
Okay.
I did the, Bach Prelude and Fugue. I did a Beethoven Sonata. I did, so I had those things.
Yeah. And declare, this is college here in New York?
This
or
is at Western, Michigan.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I was actually a music education major at the time.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think it was as strict, being a piano performance, so I think that kind of helped.
Yeah.
But, when I was taking lessons from other professors, I would tell them, I want to do this, I want to do that, and they're like, you know what, just forget about that. Like, don't even think about it. It's too late. It's too hard. You don't have enough rep.
Yeah.
It's too much competition. I would just hear all the no's.
Yeah. Every reason why you shouldn't. Or
Yeah. So that was really an issue for me. And even when I moved here to New York, I went to a Christian college, Nyack College, which I actually enjoyed. I did a tour in Italy with the gospel choir. I did my Lincoln Center debut there. It was a really good program for the school that it was. But I had a professor who actually studied at Moscow Conservatory.
Sure.
So with that comes that type of training.
Yeah.
So, like for the first semester, all I did was a prelude and fugetta. Not even a prelude and fugue. A prelude and fugetta for a whole semester.
Wow.
And I was like, this is not acceptable. I'm
You
already
gotta do
behind.
more.
I was 5 years out of school. you know, I wanted to enter master classes. There was one with Mitsuko Uchida at Carnegie Hall. She's my favorite pianist ever. Like,
Wow.
she signed all my Schubert books, all my Mozart. We
She's
have
fantastic.
pictures.
Yeah.
So like, she's like my best friend in my mind. So there was a master class, and all you had to do was play one movement of a Mozart sonata or a movement of a concerto, Mozart concerto.
Great.
So, okay, we can definitely do that. We got 3 months.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you can't do that. Wait till next year. You know, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I just kept getting these, you know, I wanted to enter so many competitions, so many fellowships, so many residencies, and all I would get is no.
Yeah.
And it got really discouraging because now that I'm over 30, a lot of those things I can't do.
That's right. Yeah,
You know,
they have,
a lot of those
age cutoffs and stuff like that. Yeah.
So now I'm frantic, and I'm searching for one over here in Poland and one over here in the Ukraine and a competition, and you know, I have to look a lot harder to even try.
Yeah.
So I actually took some lessons with Major at HSA.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
So I took some with him, and you know, he really understood me. You know,
Yeah.
I told him, I said, I want to do some really tough stuff. You know, I want to enter this competition. I want to enter this. He's like, all right, let's do it. You know how he is. He's like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah.
know, he gave me the Ravel. He gave me, you know, just the Prokofiev third. You know, I'm like, yeah, like this.
Yeah. Let's go.
You know,
Yeah.
so I entered the Miami Classical Music Festival, and I did their live audition here, and I got in.
Wonderful.
And you know, I was just like, wow, I actually entered something.
Yeah.
And like, just imagine if I would have done any of the other things. Like,
Right.
so I got into that. I competed in my first international piano competition like 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
Which was it's called the Stay at Home International. So it was a
Oh, so it
virtual.
was remote. Oh, that's cool.
So-
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's nice. How was that experience?
It was really good. And, you know, if you go on the website, you see, like, I'm the only black pianist, you
Sure.
know?
Yeah.
Like, that's always been my goal, just to represent us. So if somebody
Yeah.
else just looks and says, okay, he did it, so I can do it too.
Yes,
You know, because
yes,
I'm sure you
yes.
know, sometimes we look at the Van Cliburn, the Chopin, the Tchaikovsky,
Yeah.
and nobody's
Yeah.
there. And it's like, we can do this. And I just wanted to make a statement and just let people know, like, we have what it takes.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a really big deal for me, just to be on that website, even though I didn't advance,
Yeah.
I didn't win, but just to see my name representing the USA, like, that was a major full circle moment, you know.
No, that's really wonderful to hear that that's your mindset, because you know, I know from personal experience, just when you're very young, you're very impressionable, and when you're a child, sometimes something as simple as seeing somebody that is from where you're from and knows about your life experience, and you're seeing them do something, you're just like, oh, I can do that.
Yes.
Like, and that's, you know what I mean? Like, that is so much more important than, you know, accolades.
Exactly.
And like, you know, winning things, or, you know, placing here, performing here. Like, I know from personal experience, like, seeing musicians that were from where I'm from, that took the time to teach me, to show me, and that were great. Like,
Yeah.
great musicians. Like, you know, growing up in Chicago, like, seeing that really just told me, like, okay, like, this is totally attainable.
Yes.
And the thing is, especially now with, you know, things being, you know, wireless, things being, you know, wireless information technology, you have no idea who's seeing you, who's being touched by you, who's being inspired by you. So yeah, it's really powerful. So I'm so glad to hear that you're doing that. And so, you know, one of the things, because, you know, I had, you know, similar experiences as well. And one of the things that I'm glad that you said was that you found people that were focused on moving things in a positive direction. Like, that's how I always look at things. It's like, okay, are these people trying to move things in a negative direction, or are they trying to move it in a positive direction?
Exactly.
And as long as it's moving in a positive direction, great. You know,
Exactly.
great. But it is really a shame, though, because a lot of times you go to a school expecting things to move in a positive direction. I mean, that's the whole point of going to school, is to advance. And sometimes you the opposite is true, like sort of what you're describing.
Yeah.
So, you know, do you feel that you've more or less bounced back from that experience, and that you took something from that, and now you're moving the way you want to?
Yes,
You feel that way?
definitely. You know, because
Good.
when I was in school, you know, I was the pianist, because at Nyack College, it wasn't really a conservatory or anything like that, but
Yeah.
so a lot of people kind of had a talent, but they just needed a little more grooming and
Sure.
things like that. I kind of already did all of this stuff already, so I was coming in just to get my performance degree.
I see.
So
yeah.
a lot of professors were kind of trained to just do the same thing that they do for every student, but I kept saying that's not me, you know.
I need something else, something more.
So I had to continue to prove myself in a different way. You know, I played piano for all the ensembles at school, the collegium, when I did the harpsichord, the chorale, the gospel choir. I was a tutor for the music school. I mean, I did so many things, and still I was getting all this pushback.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know, I would have these lessons with my professor, and she said, "Okay, that was good. I'll see you again tonight." I'm like, "Why?
Yeah.
Why am I coming back tonight?
Yeah.
You know, I have class all day." She says, "I don't care. I want to see you tonight."
Wow.
And I'll be there for, you know, I'll come and I may play one time. So, all right, that's much better than earlier. And I'm like,
the
I didn't
same.
even get on the piano, you know?
Yeah,
And it was just those
psychological
things,
things, yeah.
you know, where it was
Yeah.
like, you know, if I would post on Facebook, "Oh, I can't wait to play Carnegie Hall," the next day I'm getting a 2-hour lecture. "Oh, you're never gonna play Carnegie Hall."
Wow,
You're,
that's-
I mean, like
That's just not cool.
if I recorded
okay.
what went on in those rooms,
Wow.
they wouldn't have a job. That's all I can say.
Wow.
It was like, and
Abusive.
I just thought, you know, this is what I need. This is, if I want to go to conservatory, I got to suck it up.
Yeah.
I could do this.
Yeah.
And it was just like, she's like, I never played, you know, it was just a lot of abuse, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's terrible.
I had to get out of that and reassure myself. So
Yeah.
that's why my album, it's a lot of kind of slow, relaxing, easy pieces.
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't really have the chance to get into the big stuff, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Even when you suggested the Chopin Fantasy for me,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I ended up getting,
Yeah.
that was like, I needed like those large works. You know,
Yeah.
I never learned any of the scherzos, or I didn't get a chance to do that. So getting out of college and, you know, when I wanted to audition for grad school, I had no chance because all of those years I was learning maybe one movement of a sonata for a
I see what
semester.
you're
I was
saying.
learning a nocturne. I was learning, you know, I was learning things, but nowhere near the level that, you know.
You wanted to, yeah. But that's great that you, like, you know, like you said, you've taken steps to correct that. And, you know, honestly, one of the things that I've always found is a teacher is going to teach you something one way or another. Like even a
Yes.
bad teacher or an abusive teacher or a negative teacher, because I've had those. I think we've all had those at some point.
Yes.
You do end up learning something from them.
You do.
Eventually.
You do.
know, like I found that like once I got older, I was just like, this actually made me better.
Yes.
Because I was, you know, and it's one of those things where it's like, I know that they didn't intend for it to make me better.
Right.
But it did though.
Yes.
And so like you said, you begin to reassure yourself and you begin to remember that it's like, you know, one of the things that my family always told me was that, you know, God gives gifts, you know what I'm saying? So they can't be
Right.
They can't be taken. They can only be given up. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like if you choose to, you know, relinquish what you've been given, then you can lose it. But no one can take it from you. And so I think going through those sorts of things actually helped to teach me that lesson. And it's
Yes.
been an invaluable lesson. And then you know that mixed with the actual good teachers that I had,
Yes.
of which
Yes.
there were a few. I think it came together to make something better in the long run. So I'm glad to hear
Yes.
that sort of happened for you.
Yeah, that's what happened. And actually, the last year of school, Damian Sneed came to Nyack as a teacher for the chorale. So,
Oh, nice.
So he was able to teach me as a student.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So for that last year, like he was like, "All right, we're doing the Schubert Sonata, we're doing this, we're doing that." I was like, so I kind of got back into my gear.
yeah, it all.
You know, and he was like, you know, you need to put an album out. I'm like, what? He's like, you need to do this, you need to do that, and he
Yeah.
just put me back into gear. So
That's beautiful. So yeah, speaking of that, so talk to me a little bit about that album, which I've heard.
yeah,
It's
if you want to
beautiful.
go in my bag, if you
Yeah,
can.
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So my album, it's called The Minor Keys, and it's a work of works of Chopin and Schubert. So this was something that, you know, like I said, my mentor suggested that I do. It's like, you know what, you should put an album out just because, you know, you have a lot of people, thank you, that are supporting you. So this is the album, and I'll, you know, I think it's the link is shared and everything.
Yeah, it's in the description. Yeah, the album, it's in the description of the video, so you can find it there for sure.
Yeah, so it's Chopin. This one is for you, so I'll leave it here.
Oh,
Yeah, I
thank
just got to
you.
autograph it.
Merch.
Yes,
Merchandise.
yes. And you can get one too. Everybody that shares this live stream, if you share it, I will enter you in a raffle and I'll give you an autographed copy. So please share it, like, say, comment, everything.
Yeah, beautiful.
So this was just, something to just get myself back in the groove.
Yeah.
I recorded it at Skillman Studios.
Yeah, my friend Way. Yeah.
Yes,
Way's the
yes.
man.
So hey, Way, if you're watching. I just learned so much about how I sound. The whole process, mixing, mastering, the different microphones, and this was a album that I intended to be, a relaxing album. I wanted you to just come in and, like, if you were washing the dishes or taking a shower or just reading a book, just pop this in. It's only like 37 minutes long, so you can get a task done, hopefully, and then turn it off.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
So that's what happened, and I get a lot of videos of parents sending their videos of kids sleeping to it,
That's
and
wonderful.
just like in school or doing their homework.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I had envisioned.
And it came to fruition. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
so I put it out, and it reached #1 on the classical charts.
That's right. That's
on iTunes. So
see,
I woke
look
up
at
and
and
I was
those
like,
those people that were saying it would never happen.
exactly.
The exact opposite happened. So it's
So,
like you
yeah.
can do whatever you want.
So it did that. It reached #9 on the Billboard charts.
Beautiful. Congratulations.
And this was
man.
just, I was just learning. This was just from sales.
Yeah.
I didn't send it to any radio. I didn't have it in any playlists. I didn't have a manager, a team.
Yeah, this was just
I
you
just
and
posted
your
on-
gift growing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it really inspired me, and from that, I met a lot of other young black pianists who
Wonderful.
who've messaged me and said, wow, this is inspiration. Keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when you release a project, you see where people are listening from.
That's right.
I see people in Tokyo and the Ukraine, and every week I'll get a playlist of where people are listening from. So I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So from that, I've gotten some concerts and more engagements, and just pushed myself to believing and letting me know that I can really do this. I have what it takes.
Yeah.
So it was just a reassurance. It was more of an EP, more of a demo mixtape, a classical mixtape.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm just gonna put this out, and God told me you need to put it out before 2020. Like He just kept saying that.
Yeah.
So I did it in December, during the Christmas season. It was just
Yeah.
like the weirdest time.
Yeah, but it all worked out.
But it worked out. So
That's fantastic, man. I'm so proud of you. And the thing is, all, like you said, all of that came from just persevering through all of that sort of negativity, people saying, you can't do this or that. And, I've always felt that negativity, a lot of times it really comes from people seeing that you can do it.
Yes.
Like they see that you can do these things. And so because of that, they want to not see you reach what they know you can reach.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so, you really hate to see stuff like that, but you can take it as encouragement, and I'm glad you did, because that means, okay, these people are trying to stop me because they know that, I'm getting to where I'm going.
Exactly.
So that's great, man. So what's on the album? You said Chopin, Schubert, what's on there?
Yeah, so it's just like some preludes. I have the preludes in C minor, the nocturne. I got a couple etudes.
Nice.
I have the Schubert sonata in A minor, D784. So, like I said, it's like 37 minutes, but it's just a light album, the prelude in B minor, just like a really relaxing type of playlist. So,
beautiful.
check it out if you can. It's available everywhere, streaming.
Very cool.
Yeah, just check it out and let me know what you think.
Yeah. So you're gonna play some of that. You're gonna play some of that music today.
Yeah,
so
I'll play-
talk to us. What are you gonna play? What are you gonna do?
Good. So we were talking because I'm like, I was just going back and forth.
I know that feeling. It's like, oh man, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, and just do with everything that's going on in the world, from the pandemic, the protest that's happening. I had a cousin that was shot and killed last week.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was in Michigan?
Yeah. So it's
I'm
like,
so sorry, man.
thank you.
I'm so sorry.
But you know how it is. If you
Yeah.
go a certain life, like you choose a certain lifestyle, and
Yeah.
things happen. When I
Yeah.
chose the piano, I knew I lost friends and relationships because I practiced, because I couldn't go out all the time. I couldn't do this, and they didn't understand. Like
Yeah.
any life you choose is gonna come with something.
Yeah.
So, I'm super sad, and I'm probably gonna go back home and, talk to the family.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to play things to just encourage us, to just remind us, just how grateful we are.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna probably start with Lift Every Voice and Sing,
Oh,
which is the
nice.
Black
That's the
National
jam.
Anthem. So I'll just
Yeah.
do like a little arrangement of that.
That's the jam.
I'll do We Shall Overcome.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do my version of For Every Mountain by Carr.
Wonderful.
I'll do Total Praise. I'll do my arrangement of that. I'll do a song called Give Thanks,
Yeah.
church song.
Oh, you're hitting all the jams, man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, and then I'll do a couple of the etudes, and then I'll do, I may do my Bach Prelude and Fugue in D minor.
Sure.
And then Scriabin. It's like 9 songs.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking,
Yeah,
but it's gonna be fast, like 2 minutes.
That's wonderful. Play whatever you wish. Afterwards in post, I'll always add timestamps so you guys can see the program and you can, see whatever songs you like that you want to hear. You can skip right to them. Nice. So play whatever you wish. The floor is yours.
All right.
I'm so glad that you were able to come. We're finally able to just sit and chat and get you playing and it's going to be a lot of fun. Yes. So the floor is yours. I'm going to move this stuff out of the way.
Okay.
And then we can get to it. So Mr. Edward Callahan, thanks for coming and enjoy the music. Here we go.
Yes, and for also the few engagements that I will be doing, I'm going to be doing a virtual concert with the Gilmore Festival.
Oh, nice.
So, I was there as a kid, watching all these. That's where I met Andre Watts. I met Jeremy Dink, Ingrid Fleeter. All these people would come.
Yeah.
So now they called me to do a virtual concert, which was really
Sweet.
Cool.
Yeah. When is that?
So that's going to be October 9th.
Okay.
And then I'll also be going to Western in November and doing a concert there.
Nice.
So just stay tuned for that stuff.
Is that going to be remote as well, broadcast?
Yeah, it's going to be remote. So people will be in the audience, but also virtual.
Nice.
So I have those coming up as well. And, hopefully if you guys type in collaborative album, Jeremy and I can do something together. So everybody type that.
We're gonna make that happen for sure. We got time. Let's definitely do it. Nothing would make me happier. Nothing would make me happier.
Thank you.
So let's get started. So thank you so much for coming.
you.
We're definitely going to get that collaboration happening
Yes,
for sure. 'Cause you were
yes.
playing all the jams,
Oh,
man.
man, I
Like,
was
you were
doing a
playing
little
all
something.
the jams. That was awesome. So we'll definitely make something happen. Next week, my really good friend Michael Kakoff is coming. We were classmates in college together, and we're also co-workers now. So he's going to come. He's going to play some Scriabin too, I believe, and also maybe some
nice.
Liszt. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll be talking to him next week, same time. Thank you guys for listening. If you want to support the stream, the best thing you can do is to donate to the performers. There's a donation link. It's right in the corner of the screen. And also just comment where you're listening from. That helps us to, find the best times to program because, these things are going out everywhere. So we got people listening on the West Coast and Europe. So we try to program it at a good time for everybody. So, just like, comment, and support the performers. Thank you so much. See you guys next week.
See ya. Thank you.